It's at once hypnotic and dreamlike, an exhibit that combines spheres, air, and light to immerse people in a uniquely rounded experience. It's named Euphoria. It's a multifaceted series of art installations at the Balloon Museum in the Italian capital. It's something that one visitor says is appealing to children and adults, and they're all encouraged to interact with the exhibits. Euphoria is meant to support playfulness as it surrounds visitors with distinctive displays they're really unlikely to see anywhere else. Its unusual dimensions and various themes from different artists inspired one person here to say it's not just about relaxation and entertainment, it's a moment for reflection, but it's a temporary one. The exhibit will only leave people walking on air, or at least balloons filled with it, until the end of next month. Hi, I'm Azuz. Thanks for watching The World from A to Z. It makes our day to be part of yours. A little more than 3 weeks into a ceasefire agreement that's supposed to last 6, there are signs more violence may be on the horizon between the nation of Israel and the Hamas militant group. They've been at war for more than a year, but a pause in hostilities began on January 19th. In their ceasefire deal, Hamas agreed to release 33 of the hostages it took during its attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023. Israel agreed to release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. These exchanges were to take place gradually over the course of the ceasefire, but on Monday, Hamas accused Israel of not following other terms of the agreement, like allowing certain aid items into Gaza, and the militant group said it would postpone the release of 3 Israeli hostages as scheduled this Saturday. The U.S. is a close ally of Israel, and President Donald Trump advised Israel to cancel the ceasefire if Hamas doesn't release all of the remaining Israeli hostages this weekend. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu then told his nation's troops to prepare to fight if hostages aren't released. We don't know if he meant some or all of them, or what Hamas will do. But the ceasefire hangs in the balance with the clock ticking to Saturday.
Word of knowledge. On average, scam victims in what nation lost the most money last year? United States, Denmark, China, Switzerland. According to a report by the Global Anti-Scam Alliance, victims in the United States reported average losses of more than $3,500 per scam.
But that figure may not be accurate because the majority of victims may not even report they've been scammed. Saskia Van Doorn explains why and shows us how a former scammer in France is fighting fire with fire.
I shared everything with you.
This AI-generated fake Brad Pitt swindled a 53-year-old French woman named Anne out of $850,000 in a scam that would become a viral sensation. Meet the man who says he found the scammers behind the elaborate hoax. Marwan Ouahab is a now reformed scammer who not only helps victims get their money back, but helps track down the bad guys. To catch Anne's scammers, he emailed them a booby-trapped link.
En fait, en cliquant dessus, il nous a révélé en fait ses coordonnées GPS exactes.
Marwan says it was not one, but 3 people behind the fake account.
C'était depuis cette maison-là.
Prosecutors have since opened an investigation and are using the information Marwan collected to bring Anne's scammers to justice. But tracking down online criminals comes at a cost.
Est-ce que vous avez have you ever received threats, des menaces?
Oui, on a déjà reçu des menaces. J'ai déjà déménagé. Donc ça fait partie du quotidien.
Marwan started his company Find My Scammer 4 years after he was convicted of fraud and handed a suspended prison sentence. Since then, he says he has been inundated with cries for help. On a normal day, he receives up to 150 requests. According to the Global Anti-Scam Alliance, over $1 trillion was lost to scams globally in 2024. And yet, 70% of victims didn't report the crime. Another scam victim, who has been helped by Marwan, wishes to remain anonymous.
Je veux pas faire une interview à visage découvert parce que j'ai vu ce que Anne a subi, par exemple dans l'affaire du faux Brad Pitt, concernant le cyberharcèlement qu'elle a subi, et j'ai pas envie de subir ça aussi.
Scammers rely on this shame, so victims don't come forward. After Marwan helps track down his clients' scammers, he also helps them go over their bank's obligations to reclaim their stolen funds.
Une partie des fonds.
Marwan says if someone you haven't met in real life asks you for money, even if you've been talking to them for months or years, then that's a big red flag.
J'ai été moi-même un escroc avant, je le regrette beaucoup. Je pense que c'est aussi la voie de la rédemption que j'ai choisie.
Saskia Van Doorn, Paris.
On this date in world history. February 12th, 1541, Santiago de Chile, what would become the capital and biggest city in Chile, was founded by Spanish conquistador Pedro de Valdivia. Coincidentally, February 12th, 1818 was when the nation of Chile officially declared its independence from Spain. Fashion history was made on this date in 1947. French designer Christian Dior introduced a collection called the New Look. It was Dior's first show, it was massively successful, and it redefined women's fashions following the more utilitarian styles of the 1930s and World War II years. And February 12, 1994 was when thieves broke into the National Gallery in Norway and quickly made off with a painting. This painting, Edvard Munch's The Scream. The robbers left a note that said, "Thanks for the poor security, but an artwork that famous is hard to sell." And within a few months, with the help of an art detective, authorities located the stolen work and got it back in good condition. Last week, after we featured a story on rural living in Mongolia, we heard from some viewers in the Asian country. Miss Ireland's class is watching from Hobby School of Ulaanbaatar, and it's right there in the Mongolian capital of Ulaanbaatar. On the U.S. East Coast, it's great to have the Squires with us today. Mr. Leisen's class is watching from Cave Spring Middle School in Roanoke, Virginia. And one state south in Morehead City, North Carolina, we see Mrs. Ramsey's class at West Carteret High School. Let's go Patriots! Hey!
Did you know William Howard Taft is the only person to hold the offices of President and Supreme Court Chief Justice? For more on the presidents, check out We the People and the President at periodicpresidents.com.
The James Webb Telescope, famous for snapping some of the prettiest pics across the galaxy, is taking on a new space case, helping protect the Earth from a potential asteroid strike. It's something the world's space agencies are taking very seriously. For context, NASA is monitoring asteroid 2024 YR4, which according to science experts has a 2.3% chance of hitting our planet on December 22nd, 2032. YR4 is estimated to be 130 to 300 feet across, roughly the same size as a meteor that exploded over Russia in 2013, injuring about 1,000 people and damaging 3,000 buildings. It's enough of a concern for astronomers to take humanity's best above the atmosphere tool, the James Webb Telescope, in an effort to study this rogue rock. Webb has the ability to capture infrared light emitted by the asteroid, which can help give us clues to its true size and orbit, providing more evidence as to whether the comet could collide with Earth. They'll have to work quickly. YR4 will disappear from Earth's view in a few short months, traveling around the sun before reappearing in 2028.
What day is it?
Today, February 12th, is National Plum Pudding Day. The traditional dessert likely started as a dish in medieval England. Modern plum pudding is more like a cake, and it often doesn't even contain plums.
Some artifacts in museums are no laughing matter, but all the ones in this one are, as the whole point is to wash away negativity and hear about the history of humor. The Museum of Laughter, aka the Ha Ha House, is a new addition to the capital of Croatia. It features everything from singing rubber chickens, which are always funny, to a bed of nails, which is somehow funny. But there's plenty for people to smile about here. One visitor says it's like revisiting childhood. Given some people lack the sixth sense of humor, but they ought to simper down and grin and bear it, because despite all our guffaws, it's more fun to snicker than bicker, cheer than jeer, whoop than holler, and cackle than sneer. So crack a smile whether the joke's for you or on you, because the best medicine comes from the belly and feels awesome. I'm Carl Azuz for The World from A to Z, and I'd love to see you again Thursday. You mean the world to me.